All right, Omondis. Let's have the Omondis then. Mary and Eric. Yes. Good to see you guys. You look so colorful.
Yeah, we are representing Cumberland.
Good to see you.
Good morning, all. Good to see you, the guys from Washington. Good friends. Good to see you. Guys. To all see right. You, Kina Dave, Pastor Dave Mwangi, and everyone else. Amazing.
All right, so you guys joined a little later. I think how many years ago? Was it 4 or 5 years ago?
For me, it's actually almost 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
Wow. Forgive my memory, but just like the other day. But tell us, so what is it that motivated you to join, and how was it like?
Don't even know if there is anything that motivated me to join. Then, Pastor Maish was the lead pastor at Syokimau, and I was at a different church. I was at Numa Ministries, and I knew that God had placed a pastoral calling in my heart and was looking for a place where I could begin to just nurture that and develop the calling. And that's how Pastor Tobias, who is a friend of Lifespring, connected me to Pastor Maish one day at a viral conference. And that's how I found myself in Syokimau.
And Mary?
Okay. For me, I had come from Mombasa to Nairobi Chapel for internship. And then after the internship, I was to go back, but Pastor Tobias, who is a friend to Pastor Maish, I'd spoken to Pastor Maish, and they had a need for a children's pastor in Syokimau. And so he requested me to come for 4 months, and I agreed. Yes, and I went to Syokimau for 4 months.
And beyond.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Who was there before the other one, by the way? I think this internship thing is a good thing. It brings people together and things happen. Who was there before the other one? And
Mwikali found me there. Mi ndio nilimkaribisha. Literally.
Okay. She did a good job. And then inaonekana yeye ndiye alikuingiza box.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
So tell us, what was your ministry like, and to the point where you felt the call to go and plant a church. So give us a brief on what your highlights were as we celebrate community and God's provision.
So when I joined the community at Lifespring Chapel Syokimau, I remember very well that Sunday. The community was concluding the 40 days of community. I don't know if they can remember. And they were doing church in round tables. So they would meet in their life groups. So I had the liberty of choosing whichever life group, to sit with. And the warmth I felt with that community was just on another level. It's not something I had felt before, and I remember, I think I had heard of Pastor Mwende Sana. When I joined, I think, was she in maternity or something? Then finally she showed up, and I was like, so this is the Pastor Mwende. I had a lot of that. And so I was welcomed so warmly with the leadership, the pastors there, and even the community. So that will always be a big highlight for me. You know how you can get to a place and just feel like you're not needed here. I felt accepted. I felt I was well received, even to this point. And I know that when I visit that community, I'll be received. So that's a big highlight. But then started serving there I served in different ministries in different seasons. But the ministry that I served under in a very long time, for a long time, was the youth ministry. So started putting together a teens ministry, worked with people that I see here who now have families. In Paul Wafula, who were once my young people. Now Paul has a child, one as if Kina Ron, who are now running ministries in different ways. And many others. I've seen Ian Adika would come and on and off, but just serving with these young people and nurturing them. Kina Randy and
right, we are losing them. Looks like the internet connection.
My highlight. I appreciated every moment I spent with these. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Sorry about that. So I was saying the highlights I have are just memories that I made with these young people, and particularly those that you'll find me with all the time will be Paul and Ron, Randy, and Amos. And JMO will be on and off, James Mutua. But these four will always hang around me. And just looking at them today, I feel nice. I feel I used my opportunity well. I also had opportunities to just come along men, like in Maganjo then I think was the chairman of the MAST, and then Norman, Dr. Mauka, and worked very closely with some of them, built very, very good relationships with them, and saw fathers in them, and they would tell me anything, okay? And I would receive free advice that has been of great help even to this point. So those relationships I also appreciate in a big way, and generally specific families that I knew I would walk in anytime. In fact, if I spend like a week without walking into a home among these that I'm talking about, it will be an issue. I'll be called, okay? Because people would wonder, Niko wapi? So I really celebrate such relationships, and particularly the Omboks. The Omboks, I think I spend most of my evenings at the Omboks, playing with Martin and William, who are now growing into big boys. Yeah.
Awesome. And Mary, and maybe if you could also connect how the call to Kamulu came, and what was it like leaving this community to go to another community?
Okay, I think for me, so far I'd say Lifespring Chapel Syokimau was the best church that I've ever been to up to this point, because of the warmth that I received when I joined the church. I just gelled with the community immediately, and it was like I've been there forever. So it was a great experience to be in Syokimau. So many ladies around me, serving with the children was really awesome. I've used BBSs, and it was just awesome being in Syokimau. Yeah, so, and also getting a husband in Syokimau. So that's the best highlight for me, being in Syokimau, I would say. Yeah, having people like Narosi, and Kina Jackie and Norman,
Rosie, do you remember that meeting until 1 a.m. at Kinanjue's?
I do remember every bit of it.
Yeah, so Syokimau. Syokimau is just any corner place to kwa hati yangu. It's one of those communities that's so hard to forget. Yeah, the call to Kamulu, I think for me, I was just waiting for when we'll go to plant a church, because even before we got married, Eric had already shared with me the vision of church planting, and I was in, and so I was just waiting for the opportunity to come. And so when we just got married, we had already started discussing our transition to church plant, because our traineeship was already coming to an end. So we had to plan for future. So we're planning about church planting, and there are so many questions from people asking me, am I sure, and all that. But for me, it was just like, church planting for me is just like any profession anyone can have. And so for me, it was like, yes, I've gotten married to this person, and they're getting a new assignment, just like any person would get an assignment, and any new husband will get an assignment and go with their wife. So I'll go with my husband. And so I was ready to come and to come to Kamulu and plant the church. I'd say that that's how the calling came for me.
Yeah, just to add,
Where are you?
my study.
My people shall be my people. Your people shall be my people. That's how
Exactly.
That's true. So just like Mwikali has said, right from when I joined Lifespring, I knew that I knew that the training was going to take 3 years, 1 year internship, 2 years of pastoral traineeship. And I know that people would have an option of maybe just doing internship and not take pastoral traineeship. For me, it was clear that I will transition into pastoral traineeship. But then at the end, I had told, I remember I told Pastor Maish and Pastor Luma at a meeting, at Pastor Bob's office then, I told them that when I'm done with the 3 years, I'll be stepping out to plant a church. Okay? So that was clear. And when time came, I don't think we ever talked about that again with anyone until time came. And so I admit that it kind of came in an abrupt way. And of course, it was very difficult to process for many people. And if there is a time when the love for the community of Syokimau was affirmed, it was around that time. I won't mention names, but there are people who visited us. There's another meeting that ended at 1 a.m. A family visited us, just to be sure that the senior pastor is not asking us to go plant a church. It is the Lord speaking to us, okay? And in this long conversation, the statement I kept hearing was that we love you guys, we care about you, and we wouldn't desire that you make any decision that you feel coerced to make, okay? If it comes from within you guys, it's okay, you have our support, but if not, don't do it. And it was of course difficult to process that. Even on our end, it wasn't easy to go to an unknown space, wondering whether we will even make relationships there again, and leaving the community that we were sure of that they're part of our community. But here we are, about 4 years later.
Great to have you guys. You are also our missionaries, and we love you. We appreciate that you received God's call to go, and now you're actually transitioning from Kamulu to Tavo life. So we wish you all the best. That's a story for another day. You'll come and tell us properly about that. But we really appreciate that you have received God's call, and this is the community that has nurtured, in a sense, your gift towards